Our building and classroom rules, the expectations are pretty uniform throughout. And then in our whole school building, if you have other children here, you're used to the flip up, flip down system. If you're not, that's how we do our behavior. You start on green, ready to go, ready to learn. And as we see good behavior and good choices and expectations being met here today, those flips get moved up. As we see negative behaviors or problems here today, those flips go down. But each child does have a chance to rethink themselves. So if they make a bad choice that morning, maybe they're not following directions, but then turn it around and they have opportunity to flip back up. So we want to keep that positive, and every child has a chance to turn that negative behavior back around. Make sure you fill out all the forms in your packet. I know you're going to see that blue card again, but please make sure we have that. You don't know how many times we go to call because the child's sick or a child's hurt and we don't have the right address, we don't have the right phone number, and that's just to make sure we have the most up-to-date current record. Because if your child's sick or injured, you want to be notified, and so please make sure we have that updated information. The internet form, which is in your handbook, says no child is allowed to use the internet unless supervised by the teacher. We do a lot of activities with Odyssey and our math practices on there. We spend a lot of time on the computer with our different activities and interactions. So please make sure that form is signed and brought back. One more thing I'm going to let Ms. Fletcher talk is please pay attention to our attendance and tardy policy in the handbook. The tardy bell does ring at 7:55. We do have breakfast in the classroom during that time, but please make sure your child is here. We do a lot trying to encourage the kids to be here, but it's not their fault if it's late, it's on you. So please make sure that they are here on time and ready to go. Also, if you check your child out in the afternoon or if you come inside to pick them up instead of waiting in the car rider line, that also counts as a tardy. So just be aware of that. So I know that car rider line can get long, especially the first few days of school. But if you do come inside and sign your child out, that will count as a tardy. Just wanted to make sure you understood. If they are going to eat breakfast, breakfast is free. We do have the breakfast in the classroom program. Every child right now is getting served breakfast in the classroom. Now tomorrow they'll have to learn how to come get it themselves. Today they get what I call the exemplar system here today. They're getting waited on hand and good. Their breakfast is getting handed to them today. So we told them that's not a normal thing, but they're getting a special treatment today. But breakfast is free, but they need to be here early. If they're coming in right at 7:55, that does push our instruction back a little bit because breakfast can sometimes in the classroom take up to 8:15 to 8:20 if we have some late coming in. So please, if they're going to, let's try to get them here early and on time as much as possible.
Okay, on Tuesday of each week, we send a communication folder home. Those of you that have taken it to these side before, it's always been an orange folder. This year it's orange and black, mostly black. So, familiar orange folder won't be there, but it'll still be a communication folder. Please be sure you take everything out unless the teacher says return this. Sign, spot, because it upsets your child if their folder gets returned not signed. So there's a spot for everybody. If you're sending something to us, there's a place where you check, so we'll know to look for something in there. If we send something to you, we're checking something that's like a note or something that's important. That will go home every week. There's going to be one of your forms of communication. You probably also have gotten phone calls from the automated system just to keep you updated on information. Listen for that. Also, anytime you get information, it will be on the radio or SalineRiverChronicle.com. Okay, transportation. Your child came to school this morning going home, just in case you didn't already know that. So if your child's teacher does not know how they're getting home today, they have not already touched base with you about that, please let them know before you leave. Anytime you have a transportation change, make a phone call or send a note. We cannot have your child come in and say, my mama says I'm riding with Susie today. We can't do that. We have to have it from your mouth or a note. Because if they get their heads together at recess and I'm going to your house and they tell us, my mama said it's okay, you can't go on that. For your child's safety, we want to make sure they get where they're going and supposed to go. So let us know in writing or with a phone call to the office anytime there's a transportation change. Also, I know Ms. Jessica asked you to please stay in your vehicles in the afternoon. Those of you that have been in the car ride along before know it's a nightmare the first few days. But after the staff that works that learns your vehicle, I promise you go just like this, very quickly. But if you park, you get out, and put everything in a halt. If you need to talk to the teacher, park down here somewhere, come in after school. Okay? Lunch, I'm not sure about the price for that.
They're in the communication folder and should also be in the handbook.
I think they're from
They're $2.
$2. Okay. Send your money in an envelope. Your child will give it to Miss Paula. The classroom teacher does not handle the money, so if they come in with it in their hand, we don't know what it's for. And that's for any money that you send to school. If we ask for field trip money or t-shirt money, which will be coming later, in an envelope with your child's name, the teacher's name, and what it's for. Works a lot better. But they will give their money to Miss Paula at the computer, and she'll credit it to their account. If your child brings lunch, that's perfectly fine. If they have allergies, it's easier to do it that way, whatever you want to do. Just make sure their name is on the lunch box, because after lunch they put it on the cart goes back into our hallway. If there's no name and it's left after school, the teachers don't want to do that. Also, like Ms. Jessica said, you need your most recent phone number and address. So when you fill out the blue card that's in the packet, you just need to make sure that you have at least 2 numbers where you can be reached. And we don't call you for little stuff. If your child's sick, you need to know where to send them. You need to be able to get in contact with them. And sometimes there's an emergency and you'll need information from them. If you plan to visit the classroom, we welcome you. Please stop in the office first. There's a sign-in sheet, and you'll be given a lanyard with a visitor pass. If you don't have that, we're going to send you back to the office to get it. That's just so we make sure you've checked in at the office and the people that are coming to the classrooms have been authorized to come to the classrooms. We will soon learn your faces. If we don't already know your faces, we just want to make sure that Eastside is a safe environment for your child.
All right, also make sure you check your child's backpack daily. Especially we have the fresh fruit and vegetable grant, and sometimes the children, if they don't finish their cup of fruit, they will take it home. So if you don't check that backpack and they forget, you might have some rotten fruit by Friday. Okay. We have had that happen more than once or twice, so please check those backpacks because we often will find it if you don't find it first. Also, we will have important information, and the kids will bring home papers and work throughout the week, so just keep checking in those backpacks just periodically, daily would be preferable. This year, we are using our Daily 5 reading program. That's just how we incorporate reading in our classroom. Our CGI mathematics and vision math. In kindergarten, we do a lot of hands-on. They like to use their hands with manipulatives. It's not a lot of pencil paper. There is some, but we are very hands-on. We do have standards-based. We're based on the standards, but more importantly, your child has individualized learning. We're going to key into their specific learning styles, not just for the class as a whole, but we're pinpointing each student and meeting their needs individually, and that should make you very excited. Because we're not just meeting the individual needs of the class, but for each student on their own. We will be sending home binders that have their pathways inside of those. They will come home every Tuesday along with the orange folder so you can check up on their work. And as we get those rolling into gear, you'll have more information on that as that gets implemented during the school year.
But don't look for it tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not coming home tomorrow. Please don't look for tomorrow. Give us a couple of weeks to get that in order and rolling with our students, and then those will come home and they'll be able to share, and we'll have some more information on that as that gets started. In kindergarten, we don't have homework. Most of our teachers do have a reading folder, and we will ask you to read with your child nightly. Would be wonderful. The reading folder for most of us will go home about 2 nights a week. Even if you just spend 2 nights a week reading with your child, that I can't even begin to tell you how important that is to read with your child each night. One, that only brings your bond with them closer, but their involvement in their literacy and their scores and their ability to learn and do well is automatically just quadrupled with the amount of time you spend reading at home. We also have an anti-bullying policy. Make sure you look at the handbook for that. And if you have any questions or concerns, make sure you contact your teacher first, and then we'll go from there. Please don't allow your child to bring toys or video games or even cell phones. We've had a few of those come in. I had a parent one time whose cell phone went missing. It showed up in the backpack, so just kind of be aware of that. That just causes some problems. So please just try to keep those toys and personal items at home. That way we don't have any problems in that situation. If you do have an older sibling that's in the 2-3 your child will ride with him in the 2-3 car rider line. So if your child is in kindergarten or first grade and they have an older sibling, they will go to the 2nd and 3rd grade car rider line. So just be aware of that.
Yes, if they're car riders.
Yes.
Even if they're bus riders.
If they're bus, they'll be picked up.
That way you only have to make one stop. You don't have to get in this line and have to. Okay. Sometimes kids want to bring party invitations, and I know it's real tempting to send 2 or 3, and that's it. If you're going to send invitations or gifts for anybody, it has to be in the right place. We don't want anybody to feel left out. So, if you don't have personal contact with your parents, just send for the whole class. And no deliveries are allowed. That's like Valentine's Day and birthdays. Now, if you want to bring them lunch on their birthday, that's fine. You're welcome to come and eat with them. Label everything. You know how much you spend on their clothing, on their jackets, on their backpacks. And if they're not labeled, they just lay down on the playground or in the lunchroom, you'll never see it. Go to Land of the Lost.
Every year we have Carhartt, Under Armour, Nike, Nike jackets, and hoodies that are left behind.
Just take a Sharpie, write it on the label inside. Usually small children's clothing, there's usually a place for that. Or just on the tag somewhere so that we know who it belongs to. Because it is a very big boxes every year that are wrapped up and donated because we didn't know who they came to. Also, medicine. This includes over-the-counter. We don't pass out medicine. The school nurse will be the one that does that. If your child is on a medication that the doctor says they can be given during the school day, you need to bring that to Miss Peggy. We don't even give them cough drops because sometimes they eat it like candy. So if your child has a cough, you can take that to Miss Peggy also.
Actually, Miss Casey.
Casey now, I'm sorry.
We're used to say Miss Peggy.
Miss Peggy. She's been with us for 4 years, and we have some nurse this year. We're very excited about that. But even cough drops, because they need to be shared. And so, what about inhalers? That will need to go to the nurse. And you talk to her about that. Y'all can work that out. It's just for your child's safety and everyone else's because little children like to share things. That's the biggest thing. But if it's something that they're supposed to have and they're used to having, just talk to Miss Casey about it and y'all can get that worked out. We do some collections at Eastside. 2 of those things that we collect are box tops. And I know you've seen them on products that you buy, box tops for education. Each one is worth 10 cents. So when you throw that away, you're throwing a dime in the trash bin. If you'll send them to school, we'd love to have them. The only thing we ask is that you do 1 of 2 things. Bundle them in bundles of 50, or if you have access to a printer from the website that's on the box top, you can print out a sheet that you can attach those to. It's a good activity to do with your child. Then when you send them, make sure your child's name is on whatever you send them in because we have a contest. And at the end of the year, whichever student from each grade has brought the most wins the prize. So make sure that they're labeled with your child's name. Also, we collect used ink cartridges for, I don't know what program that's for, but if you have ink cartridges from your printers, send those up here too. If your child has to stay inside during cold weather or extremely hot because of an illness, not just because they don't want to go outside, but a legitimate illness, if you will send a note, then they will be allowed to go to the in-office and play with the toy during recess. You can't leave them in the classroom unattended. Most of us will have recess duty or something that needs to be done during recess. So, just remind them they need to go outside and get fresh air and sunshine and some running and getting rid of energy. But if they are sick, send a note and we'll send them, we'll keep them inside. And this one we've already talked about, but we're teaching leadership skills at Eastside. If they're on time, we get a little dot on our graph. Last year my class got 2 dots in the entire year. That means there were no morning parties during the week for you to get a dot. 2 weeks out of the year, my class got dots. That made me sad.
I'm proud of 5, but that's 5 weeks out of the whole year.
And like Miss Jessica said,
that's not really that great.
Your kids aren't driving themselves to school. And I know mornings are hectic. I've lived that, been there, done that. My kids are grown and young. It's just me and my husband. But now there are times that I don't want to get out of bed. So, you just remember that it puts them in a bad situation in the morning if they come in and you're late. They come in and they know they've cost their class that dots with you. They don't like that. So, if it's legitimate, otherwise, please make sure they're on time.
Once again, we're about to wrap it up. Just make sure we know transportation. That's the biggest thing. We don't want kids being brought back on the bus because the drop-off wasn't right or because someone wasn't there. We want to make sure they go home the right way. Keep the communication open. If you don't let us know, we don't know. We can't do nothing about it. So please keep that communication open. All the kindergarten teachers are welcome to phone calls, to notes, to questions, to emails. I mean, please, just if you don't know or you have a question or concern, we welcome you to come contact us, come see us, come visit with us. We will help work through that process and that problem. We will have class t-shirts coming soon. You're going to know about that. Don't worry about that today. Any of our school supplies from the school store, we will try to get a note of those individual prices. If you didn't take care of that today or need to know that, send it in the envelope. We need to get that sent home. We'll try to get that sent home today or tomorrow. $6 for Scholastic News. That's part of our system.
Good news. The school found money. You don't have to pay for the Scholastic News. That's weekly reader for those of you that have. They've just changed names. You don't have to pay that $6. Your child's going to receive that. Save that $6 to buy those journals that they're going to need for Rob.
If you already paid for that because I didn't realize that, your money will be returned.
So it'll come out toward your t-shirt.
Or yes. So either way. I think that about wraps it up. We just thank you so much for coming. We are so glad to have your children in our lives this next year. We're very excited. We're looking forward to a great school year. And so thank
Before
you
you leave, if you did not sign the 2 sheets in your child's classroom, please either go back by or if one of my parents come sign my sheets.
And I do have Miss Judy's clipboard, so if you didn't make it to Miss Judy's sign-in sheet, I do have hers. Okay.